you for those announcements. And now please welcome Ed Halliday, who will introduce our first speaker.
Good morning. Today I would like to introduce you to Mrs. Colleen Heidinger. Mrs. Heidinger is a Nichols alum and is currently the Director of Events and Programming at 43 North, a local business startup incubator. Currently, she is planning 43 North Week, which is coming up at the end of October. Mrs. Heidinger has a seat on the Nichols Alumni Board as well as the Pro Zoo Board at the Buffalo Zoo. Also, Mrs. Heidinger is the head of the Ambassador Committee for the Girls Education Collaborative, which is working to open a school in Africa next June. Please welcome Mrs. Heidinger with a warm Nichols welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? The energy in here, I must say, is more than I thought, based on what I experienced in 2002 when I came here every day. So what I think we should do first is turn around to the person behind you and tell them what you're up to this weekend. I want to tell you a bit about my story from the time I left this wonderful place, and to tell you now that I'm back in Buffalo what I'm up to and what I need you to do for me. So this is me and my best friend, Alyssa, on Birthday Day 2002 in the quad. I left here and somehow went into this amazing college called Babson. I still attribute my acceptance letter to a phone call made by Mr. Truscott. But Babson's the #1 school in the world for entrepreneurship. So little did I know back then how it would impact my life now. But we went and studied kind of all about business, startups, working for yourself. So then I left. This was in Boston. I left Boston wanting to go to the bigger city and moved down to New York the summer after we graduated. So I ended up in television actually, which was a bit odd because I never was into television, nor am I now. But I had a great run. I spent 7 years with a global production company producing these shows both in the States and also other places. So when you'd see Pop Idol in the UK or The X Factor over there or Price is Right down in South Africa, those were all programs that we created. So I was our director of events for them as well, traveling the globe, putting on premiere events, red carpets, trade shows, offsite retreats, that type of thing. So very celebrity-driven, high-profile. Not necessarily what I wanted, but I did it. I had enough of New York at one point. It was an August day. The heat and humidity, I'd done it 7 years. And so I went in and told my CEO that I'm done. I'm leaving New York. So he said, how about you move to LA? And that's what I did. So I jumped on a flight and moved my life out west to San Monica, California, where I ended up actually in the movie industry. So then I started working on all these brands. Again, premieres, trade shows, red carpet events across the country, heavily in New York and LA. Again, not loving the impact I'm having on the world, but having a great ride doing it. So then I turned 30 and I went to Africa to celebrate my 30th birthday. And so I taught, I was on safari, I had an eye-opening experience and realized that life's too short to do things I don't really care about. So I hit the road and drove my Mini Cooper across the country to Buffalo. So that was last August, the 190, when I pulled into our great city. And actually resigned from DreamWorks when I came back from Africa. I moved here without having a job. I moved in with my parents. Obviously, most of our class here left Buffalo and hadn't returned yet, so I didn't have any friends. And then I got a call from an advisor that I met while I was here, a woman I used to babysit for, Shannon Angaccio. And she said, I think I've got it. There's a role that's up now in Buffalo that's all about entrepreneurship, so your Babson degree will be perfect. You'll plan all their events, which you've been doing now for high-profile Hollywood celebrities. and you will directly impact the development of Buffalo, which is when I moved back here, it was what I wanted to do. It was the only thing I was going to do. I was not taking the 9 to 5 at M&T. I was coming back to impact the development of our city. And this role that I eventually landed, and what I'm doing now, has allowed me to do that. So that's where I am now, is director of events. So I handle my role as, there's 2 main buckets. One is all the events related to 43 North Week, which we'll get to in a minute. So that's coming up the end of October. And then it's also, I'm responsible for the social mentorship of the folks that win 43 North Business Plan competition that then move to Buffalo. So I have to help them fall in love with Buffalo. So I take them to the zoo, but I don't only take them to the zoo, I take them on a backstage tour of the zoo. So they pet the rhinos and the elephants. Or we go to the Bills game, and not only do we go to the Bills game, but we go to a boxing Bills game and meet the players in the locker rooms, that type of thing. Because if they win any money in the 43 North Business Plan competition, they have to move to Buffalo for a year. And ideally, through our social mentorship, which I do, and business mentorship, which my coworker does, they'll stay longer and create more jobs and impact our economic development. So that's what I'm up to. I have a little video that 43 North premiered last year at our final awards ceremony at Shays at the end of October last year. So we'll have another one for this year. But this is kind of a retrospective of what Buffalo used to be, all the things that were invented or created here, a lot of which I didn't even know. So we'll play that, and then I'll just talk a little bit more about Finals Week, where you can insert yourselves, all for free, and then I'll turn. Year 2 will all culminate the October 29th at Shays. So we'll give away the $5 million that we received from NICA, all in prize money to 11 winners. The winner gets $1 million, 6 people will get $500,000, and 4 will get $250,000. We had over 3,000 applicants from over 120 countries and every state in America apply to move their business to Buffalo. They received money from us. So we are on to something here, and I feel like all of you should be with us on October 29th. 6 p.m. Shays, it's free. 43north.org is where you can sign up and register. I'd also say, though, if you can't make that, I've created a whole week of events that touch on different kind of activities. So on the Monday night, we have what we call is Think Big with 43 North. It's our minority and women-owned business initiative. And so we have the 2 winners of 43 North from last year that are female, and a few local women business owners, all on a panel at the Marriott Harbor Center, speaking to their entrepreneurial journey. So very similar to what I did today, but on a much larger scale. They talk to their successes, what worked, what didn't, very honest. The Tuesday night, my brother, who's class of 07, he's putting on a ping pong tournament in our incubator. So I know the entrepreneurship class came down, but it's kind of our more fun night. So if you're interested in that, go to our website, you can sign up for that. 6 o'clock at 43 North. The Wednesday night, we have Damon John, who's the shark on Shark Tank, the African-American man. So he's coming to Buffalo and doing a keynote address at the Statler for us on the Wednesday night. And then Thursday in the morning from 9 to 12, we have the pitch sessions. And then the afternoon, 1 to 4. So all those 11 winners get on stage at Shays and pitch to hopefully upwards of 500 people their business plan competition. And then they get judged very much like what you see on Shark Tank by 7 judges that I've flown in from across the world, experts in their industries, to determine who gets what about the money. So then at night we announce who gets what's nomination of those awards that I spoke to. So that's what I'm up to the past 6 months. I hope more than just the entrepreneurship class will become a part of this. It's not just about entrepreneurship and business, it's about celebrating our city, it's about the arts, the historians, like everyone can relate to what you're going to see. It's an hour and 15-minute performance. It's not an award ceremony, it's a piece of entertainment. I've taken a lot of my history, which you now know in the entertainment space, and brought it to this. Last year it was very political. A lot of politicians, sponsors were on stage, a lot of talking. This year it's not. We have numerous videos to that extent that will play as we welcome another 11 businesses to Buffalo. So that's how you can reach me, Colleen at 43north.org. I'm happy to answer anything or help you get there in any way that I can. So thank you for having me, Nichols. It's great to be back.